love how, like, after a long day, Rolly Jr.'s just always waiting for me, so I just want to tell you I love you.
What's good? What's good? It's the one and only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Romero in the freaking news. All right, so him and Ryan Garcia have kind of went back and forth. As you guys can see, Ryan Garcia's verified account. He says, "Okay, Rolly, you asked for it. Let's get it. This one is for Barrazo." That's Rolly's last opponent, who many thought was cheated out of victory. And Rolly replied on his story, "Done deal, done data." That's what you see on the bottom of the picture. Rolly's response. So I want to talk about it, man. As if you don't know, you should know. Rolly Romero is the WBA super lightweight or junior welterweight, whichever one you want to call it, 140-pound champion. He just won. It was about maybe two weeks ago against Barrazo. Many people thought that fight was stopped unfairly. A lot of people had Rolly losing that fight and felt like Rolly kind of got a gift decision. All right, now as far as Ryan Garcia, we all know Ryan Garcia fought last April against Gervonta Tank Davis in a mega event. Both fighters did very well selling the fight. As evidence, the fight doing 1.2 or 1.3 million pay-per-view buys. Ryan then went on. He went on to lose. He got stopped in I think it was the 7th round. He got stopped. He got dropped with a body shot. Many people say he quit. I'm one of the ones that kind of feel like he quit. But nevertheless, he got beat he got stopped by a body shot and was not able to continue. Now these two are kind of going back and forth. Now, I do want to say these two definitely have history. For y'all that don't know, Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia have shared the ring before, except for it wasn't in a sanctioned bout. It was in a sparring session at the Mayweather Boxing Club. This was a few years ago, right? Rolly, actually, when they were really going back and forth, Rolly shared some clips of the sparring session where he then called Tank. Not Tank. He then called Ryan Garcia with some fallacious hooks, man. He looked like he was getting the better of Ryan Garcia. And the sparring session is actually still on YouTube. So if you guys, if you have nothing to do, or if you just interested in seeing it, man, make sure you check that out, bro. The sparring session is still on YouTube. It was entertaining, bro. But I do feel like Rolly did get the better of Ryan Garcia, and now these two are going at it in the pro level or in the sanction levels or whatnot. Now, Rolly, for a while, got quiet with fighting Ryan Garcia. For a while, they were asking people would ask Rolly, who is he looking for? And Rolly was only calling out Tank Davis and Errol Spence. But now Rolly seems to be vocal and says that he only wants big fights. Now, I knew this was going to happen, bro, and this is why I'm not really too keen on Rolly Romero because, bro, I like him and he's good for the sport, but I knew once he got that taste of pay-per-view with Tank Davis, now Rolly feels like he's a pay-per-view star. And to be truthfully honest, he's not. As evidence, if you look at his last fight, he maybe only had like 1,000 people there watching him fight, and that was in his hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada, okay? Rolly can sell a fight. Rolly is entertaining, but Rolly has to have a partner in front of him. But the reason why Rolly was on pay-per-view was because of Tank, not because of Rolly, okay? So I don't like the route that Rolly is going. And even in the interviews when he was stating that he was only looking to fight Tank Davis or Errol Spence, he's only looking to be in big events. And that makes me feel like you don't really care about the legacy. You don't really care about fighting. Because Lawrence Okolie is actually one of the ones that he's actually one of the fighters that's been calling and pressing for Rolly for a long time now. And well, not a long time, but more recently he's been pressing for Rolly, and that's a very, 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 very good fight. I think that's a very entertaining fight. Both fighters have something to prove, and I would love to see that fight. But Rolly Rolly acts like he's too good for that fight. And again, it's all because of him just sharing one pay-per-view event with Tank Davis, and that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, Rolly, you still have to build yourself. You're not a solidified name. Nobody gains really anything besides the WBA championship title that you hold. Nobody really gains anything from beating you. That's not even, it's not anything to brag about. All right. So I definitely, but with that being said, I still am interested in the matchup between Rolly Romero and Ryan Garcia. Why? Because I know for a fact that is another fight, just like the Tank Davis fight with both fighters. Both fighters have shared the ring with Tank Davis. Of course, I think if I had to have an opinion, I would think that Rolly did a better chance. Well, Rolly put up a better fight against Tank Davis than what Ryan did. Rolly was pressing the action a lot, whereas so Ryan, once he got caught with that shot, Ryan was more gunshot than anything. But at the same time, still, these two, I know for a fact, the fight will not go the distance. Why? Because both of them make some of the same exact mistakes. Both of them punch with their chin in the air. Both of them make fundamental mistakes as far as like leaving their head on the line, being open to get hit. Now, they're different in their own ways as well. Being Ryan Garcia is slightly the better boxer between the two. Very flat foot, but he is the better. I would say he's the better boxer between the two. And he's the faster fighter between the two. Whereas Rolly is more awkward. And the reason why that one word right there, awkward, that is gonna come back to hunt. It's gonna really hunt Ryan Garcia if these two ever fight. Because Ryan Garcia is so basic with his style. If you have any type of finesse to your style, or you come in like I'll give you something like a very slick fighter would give Ryan Garcia hell. As evidence why he didn't fight Devin Haney, even though he was Devin Haney's mandatory. Because his style is just very basic. Ryan has a very basic style. He's very fast, and he has a very good hook, but his style is very basic. So when you come in there with a big fighter that's awkward like Rolly Romero, that's a recipe for disaster against somebody that's basic, because now you got to worry about all these different crazy punches that Rolly is going to throw, and Rolly is definitely going to Tank Davis said it himself. Rolly has some heavy hands, and you can tell. Now, Rolly's definitely going to be there to be hit as well. And I have a feeling. I'm just going to say this. I have a feeling that Rolly would be more available for Ryan Garcia than Ryan Garcia will be available for Rolly. And it's not by a lot, not by anything spectacular, but I'm just saying I think that Rolly will be there to be hit. And I don't think that Rolly will be able to get away from Ryan Garcia's check hook or his left hook. I think that he'll try to be cautious about it in the early rounds, but it's only so long that Rolly can do that before Rolly reverts back to being Rolly. All right, so I would love for this fight to happen. Now, should it be on pay-per-view? No. You don't have two guys that, one guy that comes off of a loss. Even though the PBC tried to sell us that with Keith Thurman, which really irritated me last year. You don't have two guys one guy that's coming off of a loss and another guy that's coming off of a win that nobody cares about. You don't put that on pay-per-view. However, I feel like they probably still would try to put it on pay-per-view, seeing as that Ryan Garcia has a very good fan base, and Rolly, kind of like the Tank situation, Rolly would be the talking point to sell this fight. But I think if they do, I think he does. I think he can do some successful numbers or whatnot. I know it wouldn't do as much as Tank and it won't do as much as Tank and Ryan Garcia did, but it can definitely do some successful numbers. I can see that. But ultimately, the fight has to happen. Ryan Garcia is moving up to 140. He stated that he wasn't comfortable at 135, or 136, which was his last fight with Tank Davis. So who knows? Maybe Ryan Garcia is able to take a better punch at 140. We don't know. We have to see Ryan fight at 140. But I think this fight makes for an entertaining matchup, and I definitely don't see this fight going the distance. Okay. But regardless, if I had to pick a winner, for some reason I want to say Rolly Romero, but I don't know, bro. I want to say Rolly, but I don't know. I really don't know, man. It's just Ryan Garcia is with Derek James, which actually leads to my main point as to why I don't think that this fight is gonna happen next, because Ryan Garcia being with Derek James, when you change trainers, normally you don't want to just go into a big fight with your first time with a new trainer. Derek James is my favorite trainer right now, and is an absolutely great trainer. But I don't know how much he can really improve with Ryan, because Ryan's at a point to me where Ryan is gonna be Ryan. All right, so that's just my take on it. But regardless, I still would love to see the fight if they choose to make it happen. Let me know what you guys think. Who would you pick in this fight? Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?